What's happening, everybody? All right, so we got this video idea because we had a couple of questions, and some people know, some people don't. We are one of the largest Zippo dealers in the world. We carry more Zippos than you're going to find anywhere else, and at a better price than you're going to find anywhere else, too. Now, we've gotten some questions about Zippos because the beauty of Zippos is their longevity. They're reusable. They're also collectible, and a lot of people collect them. I've got Zippos from, and I actually, this is one of the weird collections that I have myself, is I collect old lighters in general. So not just Zippos, but across the board. I've got some really unique, old 100-year-old lighters that are really cool, really neat pieces that I'm really proud of, and it's just a lot of fun. It's something different. And a lot of people collect different types of Zippos, and they make so many different ones with really cool engravings on them, really cool artwork on them. And one question that I've gotten asked several times is about rebuilding a Zippo, and not necessarily rebuilding, but refurbishing, replacing all of the inner workings on the Zippo. So we're going to go through today and talk about Zippos, talk about how they function and how you replace the parts and where you can actually get those parts, which is right here. But before we get started, if you like this video, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you will know when we drop new videos, helping you out, informing you how all this stuff works. Now, without further ado, let's light it up. So today we're going to be talking about Zippos, and Zippos have a lot of different uses. Yes, they can be used to light cigarettes, but they can be used to light really anything that you need. And their main claim to fame is that they are the first windproof lighter, and that's kind of the way it was designed. So if you look right here, you can see it's got this cowl up around the outside of it to kind of shield where the actual flame is starting right there. And that's the first lighter design of its kind that is actually windproof. And it's obviously a really great design because it's really stood the test of time, mainly for how customizable it is and how unique it is. And it can really be made into whatever you want. So I think these serve a very practical purpose, even if you're not a smoker, obviously, because I like to keep one with me just for the simple fact that they work really great as far as an EDC bag or a go bag as a fire starter. I mean, you got to think, it's a flint, it's a striker, and it's tinder inside of it. So it's everything you need right there. So I think this is a great compact piece that you can keep with you that is going to be a great fire starter anywhere you go. And I would say one of the first ones ever made that is actually functional in that purpose. But there's some really cool aspects to, like if you're a collector of Zippos, we actually have these Zippo lighter identification codes, and I'm going to show that up close now. This works a lot like case knives do. So case knives have the tang stamp that really determine, based on the script and based on the dot series on the tang stamp, exactly what year it was made. Zippos work much the same way. Now, this one in particular that I've got here, it's a little bit different. It's kind of straightforward there. So you can see this one has 1988 stamped right there on it. So this one was made in 1988. It also has 1932. No, it was not made in 1932. That's just saying when the company started right there. So 1932 to 1988. This one was made in 1988 in Bradford, Pennsylvania. It's got the Harley-Davidson logo right there. This one's obviously been well-worn, well-used. So what we're going to go through today is basically taking this thing apart, refurbishing it, rebuilding it, putting it back together, showing you how all that works. And we've got a couple here. These are some really cool ones that I brought out to show. We've got the Case 2021 Christmas Zippo right here with the bells and the Case XX sign. And we've also got our SMKW web design logo right there. Really, really cool design right there. So let's dive right in and see what really makes this thing tick. So first and foremost, we're going to open it up. And this one's in pretty good shape. The wick is actually in really good shape, but we're going to take it out, and I'm going to show you how to exchange that as well. So first thing you want to do is you're going to pull out the insert here. And the cool thing that Zippo has done recently is they've got different inserts that you can actually get for these lighters. So you don't actually have to have the one that takes the Zippo lighter fuel. You can actually get one with a butane insert, and you can also get one that is an electric arc lighter insert that can be recharged by USB. So you can get the different inserts that actually go inside the Zippo, and that makes them very versatile based on, you know, what your needs are and that kind of thing. So here we've got the internal body of our Zippo lighter, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this screw right here. Now, you'll notice that that screw is right in line with the flint right here underneath the striker wheel. So that is going to be the screw that holds tension on that flint right there. So we're going to nice and easily back it out. We're going to take it nice and slow because we don't want to just let go and this thing to go flying everywhere. So you'll feel that tension there, and you'll feel when it gets close. And it's got the spring right there. It's got the piece on the end. And then you can just dump out that flint right there. You can see it in my hand right there. So that one's actually still in okay shape. We're going to return that one back to it. But if you just need to change the flint out, we've got the Zippo brand Flints right here. Comes in a little pack. You get 6 of them, 6 flints, and you're going to be set for a while, unless you're just striking this thing constantly as like a fidget spinner. But you got 6 flints right there, and that's how you're going to interchange those. Very simple. Next up, we've got the felt that is here at the bottom. Now, the felt here is just going to be kind of a seal at the bottom to keep it from leaking out as much. But we're going to take that felt out, and inside you'll see the cotton packing here. So we're going to take that out. I'm going to get out my multi-tool today using the handy-dandy Leatherman Free P4. And I'm just going to get underneath there, get that wadding out. And we've got a few different pieces here packed down in there really, really good. I'm just going to dig those out. And inside, you can see right there the actual wick itself. So I'm going to actually get the wick out. Because a lot of times, so if you just need to extend the wick, all you'll really need to do is maybe get a pair of needle nose pliers and pull the wick through if it gets kind of short. But if you need to actually pull it out and trim it up some, you're going to need to pull the wick out through here. And then what I'm going to do, you can just pull the wick out. See it right there? All you need to do that is then take the end, trim it off, and then before you put it back in, you can trim off the dead piece and then just throw it away. And then before you put it back in, you're going to want to make sure you got it wound nice and tight on that end there so that you can stick it right back through. And you can go back through either way. So we got that stuck through there, got it pulled up through. That's going to be a little bit of a long wick. I'm going to pull it back through just a little bit. And the only thing really holding tension on this thing is once you flip it over, you're going to shove this back down in there, and you're going to let it roll from side to side. And it's going to get packed down in there with the actual wadding the cotton wadding here. So we're going to pack all that down in there nice and tight, and it's going to get packed in there really, really good. And that's really going to hold that wick in there very nicely, very tightly. And then we're going to take our piece of felt. Make sure you get the holes lined up properly. Then we're going to take our flint next. We've got our flint right there. Drop it in the hole. Take our tension screw. Drop it in there. And it's also going to have this end piece right here that should, let's see if we can get that on camera, that should be on the end of that spring. So you want to make sure you don't lose that end piece because it can come out. And that is a very tiny piece that can get easily lost that you are going to want on there. So now we're going to just press that and not let that spring get kinked there. You're going to push it down in there, start screwing it down in. Once it catches, just tighten it right down. This is also how you're going to adjust tension. So over time, that flint is going to wear down right there. And over time, as that flint wears down, you might need to adjust tension. That's how you're going to do that right there. Then, all we're going to do is we're going to take our bottle of Zippo lighter fluid. And we're going to put it right in that hole in the center of the felt there. This one was pretty dry, so I'm going to soak it pretty good. That'll be good enough right there. I don't want to put too much in there because it can definitely leak out. It can become a mess, and it can also become a safety hazard there too. If you end up getting lighter fluid all over your hands, you go to strike this thing, and it's going to light you up too. Now, I've done that. I do not recommend it. Then we're going to make sure we got that wick in a good position there. We're going to let it soak up some of that lighter fluid in there. It's going to take it a minute. Sometimes I like to just tap it to make sure that soaks in good there. And look at there. Nice, beautiful flame right there. Works just like new. One strike and it was ready to go. And, you know, one cool thing I can remember as a teenager, I thought Zippos were so cool, and I thought it was so cool to have one. I didn't smoke, but I loved doing like the Zippo tricks, and I can't even do them with this one because it's a little older and it's a little worn out. But yeah, there was one of them right there. But yeah, they still work like a charm. They work fantastic, and they're really cool. We also have the replacement wicks if you do need one. And they also do come with instructions on the back of the package as to how to replace the wicks as well as the flints. Folks, you can also change out the cotton wadding on the inside there in case you need to, if it's getting, worn out. It shouldn't. It would take it a really long time. Older ones are going to definitely get worn out, but that is one thing that you can do. Folks, that's all for me, and that's how you rebuild a Zippo right there. It's super simple. It's not that hard. Not hard to replace all the parts. And this is going to be something that's going to last you an absolute lifetime, and they work great. So, folks, that's all for me. As always, it's been me, TC, here with Smoky Mountain Knife Works. And remember, if it cuts or if it lights it up, then we carry it. Go Braves. The Astros.